Hey, how's it going? Hey, today we're going to start running the wiring for these KC Daylifgtes in this 1999 Jeep Cherokee XJ. Call it Sonya. So this car light bar came in not too long ago, and we went ahead and installed the lights on it and did a temporary fit. Today it's wiring time. Now I've decided we're going to run the wiring behind this channel. Actually, gonna come out in front here and just right inside. We're gonna run the wire through this weather stripping. That weather stripping runs down, and then we're gonna go through the fender right about here, and we'll come out, maybe go right through the fender all the way here so we can get to our PDC and our battery, and eventually running the switch wires along the firewall. We're going to go in here where we went with our amp power right through what would be the clutch assembly hole. And then once we come in the cab, we're going to go ahead and run 2 switches, and we're going to be right here, right under the steering wheel, right above the knee blocker for both the driving lights and the
So let's get to it. You know, I've already actually started taking the fender off.
Yeah, first 4 bolts I tackled are this one here, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one back up there near the firewall. And on this 1999 Jeep Cherokee, it's a T27 Torx head.
Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this whole header panel. The fender is attached in here on the inside with some Torx bolts that we need to get to. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
We will start by taking off the bezels, the grill front. Then we'll attack it on the inside. Once you have the grill off, set aside, you're going to notice there's looks like a 1, 2, 3 on each side. We're going to take those off. I left my upgraded headlight harness in place on the body and not on the grill. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the top part of this antenna mast. It's a little bit smaller than a 10 millimeter, but 10 millimeter works to get it loose. Go ahead and unplug this vacuum hose from the canister down in here just to give me a little access, a little better access to this Torx head right down here. And then just inside this bumper trim, and underneath here, right along the rail, you're going to have, if you've taken your bumper trim off before, you'll know you've got 2 bolts, one here and one back behind there. We're going to get up under there and take those off as well. And those are both 8 millimeter on this Cherokee. We access it right under through the wheel well. Next, I want to move into the door jamb area here. We've got a couple. We've got one here, and a little bit lower. That one right down here. We get those loose and take them out. And then just below the door, actually just in front of it, we've got 2 more right here attaching the fender at the bottom.
So lastly, attaching the actual fender flare on the inside. Well, I'm going to show you a couple of these things here.
These star washers that hold the wheel well in place up against the fender flare rails. All right, and looking up through here, looks like I only had a couple that I could find. Let's use the power built multi-tool. It helps to loosen this antenna nut without crushing it like you might with needle nose. So there is one nut we got to take off of a bolt. It's right in the middle of the fender flare. It's holding onto a bracket that is holding the whole fender in place right now. Looks like it's about 8 millimeter. So in retrospect, I would have taken the tire off first so we can get up in there and get that nut off. That is probably the most pain in the ass nut to get off, and it was 10 millimeter. Of course, I had to use the deep socket 10, get it out by hand. All right, now let's remove that fender.
One fender removed.
So once the fender is removed, got a variety of areas to go in. Once we come through the door area here, we'll come through this hole out, come along here, we'll go back in here, and then there's an access hole right under here that we can feed to the battery, PDC, and then our switch wire again, like I said, is going to run along, go back into the cab that way. So we got all the wires plugged in to their harness here. I've gone ahead and cut the harness so that we can feed all the wires through this weather stripping. I took off the door frame, and we're going to feed it with this antenna. So we need to pop that up there. Coming out the other end. So we got it taped, and we're going to start coming through here and go ahead and make sure. Okay, we got the feed going down through the weather stripping. Okay, let's get it all the way out of there. All right. 8 strands of 16 gauge wire. Once we've completed the wire run, and then through and hooked up all the way around and back in the passenger compartment. Once again, it is time. Put the fender on, and we're going to go in reverse order. All right, once you get the 11 bolts put in, that's 4 under the hood, 2 inside the door frame. We got 3 up here up front and 2 on the bottom behind the fender. Then we've also got 1 fender nut that goes over that bolt. And you're buckled in, buckled up, ready to go. So until next time, we'll be seeing you.